Right now, the internet is endlessly debating which artificial intelligence is officially the smartest. But scoring a neural network on a single slider from dumb to genius is a flawed way to look at the technology. Intelligence in these systems is not a straight line. An AI model that can flawlessly debug complex Python code might naturally spit out stiff, robotic marketing emails that you would never actually send to a client. Ranking these models first, second, and third drives clicks, but it completely ignores how you actually get work done. So let's drop the Silicon Valley hype and look at your actual wallet. This table breaks down the premium tiers for the big three competitors. ChatGPT Plus, Claude Pro, and Gemini Advanced all cost exactly $20 a month, which works out to $240 a year. But the subscription fee is the cheapest part of the equation. The real expense is the dozens of hours you have to spend integrating a new tool into your daily routine. If you pick the wrong system, you end up fighting its natural limitations instead of leaning into its strengths. You lose hours rewriting its mistakes, destroying your return on investment. The goal isn't to buy the most advanced tech. The goal is to hire the exact cognitive profile that matches your daily workload. Let's start with ChatGPT. Think of it as the ultimate Swiss Army knife. This quadrant chart maps out how these tools operate. We have creativity versus rigid logic on the bottom axis, and isolated tools versus ecosystem integration on the side. ChatGPT lands firmly on the logical, isolated side of the map. Upgrading to the Plus tier provides a massive tool belt. You get access to custom GPTs, a highly responsive advanced voice mode, and native data analysis, which allows the AI to write and execute Python code in the background to process your files. Inside a single chat window, you can upload a dense spreadsheet, ask the model to graph the trends, generate an image for a slide deck, and search the live web for context. That massive utility comes with a strict trade-off. Because OpenAI optimized this model to do a little bit of everything, its actual text output is rigid. Ask it to write an email or an essay, and it defaults to a highly enthusiastic, predictable structure. It is the recognizable AI voice that demands heavy human editing before you can use it. You trade specialized nuance for frictionless, broad utility. ChatGPT is a workhorse, not an artisan. Then we have Anthropic's Claude. This model abandons breadth entirely to focus on absolute depth. Looking back at our chart, Claude drops into the exact opposite corner, highly nuanced, but functioning as a completely isolated tool. Its defining feature is a 200,000 token context window. A context window is the AI's short-term memory, the exact amount of text it can hold in its brain and analyze at one time. 200,000 tokens means you can upload an entire textbook, a massive software codebase, or dozens of complex legal PDFs all at the same time. It synthesizes that mountain of data with near-perfect recall, and when it writes the summary, the tone is naturally human. It skips the tired cliches and writes copy you can actually use. But that intellectual depth costs you convenience. Claude completely lacks native web routing, and it will not generate images for you. It sits disconnected from the rest of your digital life, an isolated intellectual powerhouse for dense text and heavy logic. Our third option, Google's Gemini, abandons the standalone website approach entirely in favor of deep ecosystem integration. On the chart, Gemini shoots straight to the top for maximum ecosystem integration, landing right in the middle for logic and creativity. To access Gemini Advanced's actual value, you have to subscribe and use it specifically within the Google Workspace environment. When you do that, the friction of moving data around completely disappears. You can ask the AI to summarize unread emails sitting in your live Gmail inbox, or pull specific paragraphs directly out of your personal Google Drive documents. It leverages Google's live infrastructure to instantly cross-reference your travel plans with real-time data from Google Flights and Google Maps. The catch is the underlying reasoning engine. Hand Gemini a dense coding architecture problem or a complex logic puzzle, and it frequently struggles to keep up with Claude and ChatGPT. You trade deep cognitive reasoning for unparalleled speed and native access to your existing live data. Now we drop the technical specs. The only way to make this hiring decision is to look at your daily workflow and identify what actually slows you down. This flowchart breaks down the final choice. You have to ask yourself, what is my primary bottleneck? If your bottleneck is data encoding, you hire Claude. It holds massive documents in its memory and parses complex logic without losing the thread of the conversation. If your bottleneck is writing and broad creative tasks, you hire ChatGPT. You get a generalist to brainstorm ideas, analyze data, and generate images in one place. And if your bottleneck is live web research and managing emails, you hire Gemini. It lives inside your Google Docs and prioritizes real-time internet access over heavy logic. Matching the AI's cognitive profile to the specific task slowing you down is the absolute only way you get a return on the time you invest learning it. There is one final variable that applies to everyone before you pull out your credit card. The free tiers for ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini are historically powerful. They can handle basic summarization and answer quick questions without breaking a sweat. This split screen shows the hard dividing line. The free tier covers casual use. The $240 a year subscription is strictly for income-generating tasks. Paying $20 a month to ask an AI for a pancake recipe or to draft a generic polite email is a total waste of money. You should only put one of these models on your payroll when you are executing daily tasks that drive your income. Find the bottleneck, hire the specialized profile, and let the tool do its job.